sophisticated ballistic missiles, and underground nuclear facilities. Iran is playing with fire, escalating its threats to Israel and to the world.
And the United States military is sending its own signals to Tehran. Tel Aviv is also watching closely as the Islamic Republic inches closer to red lines drawn by both Israel and the U.S. National security correspondent Caitlin Burke brings us the latest.
The Kheibar missile, named after an ancient Jewish fortress conquered by Muslims, is capable of reaching Israel. Iranian defense officials say it can penetrate enemy air defense systems and evade radar detection. To the West, it's considered a dangerous move that can't be ignored.
Despite the restrictions on Iran's missile-related activities under UN Security Council Resolution 2231, Iran continues to seek a range of missile technologies from foreign suppliers and to conduct ballistic missile tests in defiance of the resolution.
Meanwhile, Israeli defense forces keep close watch on all areas of Iran's nuclear development. A top general recently stating that Israel could soon be left with no choice other than a preemptive attack.
Iran knows it's playing with fire, and they are getting close to what both Israel and the United States are basically messaging as their red line of where they won't allow Iran's nuclear program to go any further.
In what appears to be an effort to gain the upper hand against the West, Iran is reportedly building a nuclear facility deep underground. While it's unclear whether U.S. bombs could reach it, the Air Force recently posted a picture of this bomb designed for such a purpose, adding it's time to test its performance.
Just how far each weapon goes and just how far into the mountain Iran is digging are going to be closely held secrets by both nations. They don't want to give the other country the upper hand and give them the ability to know whether their strike could work or not.
Gabriel Nerona, former State Department special advisor for Iran, says although diplomacy is not completely off the table, at this point it doesn't seem to be headed anywhere. He says to truly sway Tehran, the Biden administration must threaten consequences the Islamic regime won't risk.
The United States now is starting to get more serious about those messages, and I think that picture of bunker buster bombs is part of that strategy, and we need to see a lot more of that rhetoric and seriousness coming from both the Biden administration as well as Congress.
Nerona says it would be a mistake to underestimate the regime.
The country that chants death to Israel and death to the United States should be taken seriously. I think one of the mistakes that we've made throughout history is not believing dictators when they make a promise in public.
According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran is already enriching uranium to near weapons-grade levels. But the country has yet to announce that it's built a nuclear weapon. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.
We need to have some lessons of history here. It's a pretty big one. When dictators make promises publicly, everybody else in the world should really pay attention and take them seriously. That this isn't just posturing, they actually intend to go through with it. So who's the great Satan? Well, you and I are. Everyone in America, we're considered the great Satan. Who's the little Satan? Israel. And this has been the rhetoric out of this government since the 1970s. And when are we going to wake up and pay attention to it? The Biden administration is essentially a redo of the Obama administration. And under Obama, you have to look at his Cairo speech. And he said in that, I come from generations of Muslims. He firmly believed that he could appeal to so-called moderate factions within the Islamic community, and that through that appeal, he could have peace. And that's what governed all of his negotiations with Iran, the release of an incredible amount of money to them. And all of these things have led us to where we are now, where they're developing ballistic missiles. They're developing nuclear weapons. And if we don't take them seriously in what they're saying, we're all going to pay a price.